Ideas are a dime a dozen. That is true, but what you learn, okay, this is true in everything. Let's talk about video games for a second to take it away from operating systems. Game ideas are way cheaper than a dime a dozen. Everybody has a game idea. Everybody has like, oh, it would be cool if blah, 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 right? And so we always used to say, you know, when getting into the game industry, ideas don't matter that much. It's execution that matters, right? It's, are you able to sit down and make something? Which in the old days was way harder than it is today. To like make an actual thing that would look like a game to people was pretty hard. Actually, in the 80s, it wasn't that hard. And then it got hard, and now it's less hard again. So once that's not that hard, then it oscillates again, and then ideas become important again. Or if it's hard and once you've mastered the skill, then ideas become important again because you could either spend all that effort on a good idea or a bad idea, and just like with anything, the top echelon of ideas is very valuable and very rare, right? There's like there's an exponential, you know, kind of curve going on for basically everything in the information economy, right? So the best idea will do 1,000,000 times as well as the average idea, all right? Either financially or creatively, however you want to measure that. Okay, so then you work on the skill of having the best idea, but then it oscillates again and execution becomes more important again, because better ideas tend to be subtle and more exact and more difficult to like pin down, and that requires execution skill to implement the idea in a way that works, at least for many classes of idea. So you have this like constantly flipping coin where one thing is more important or the other thing is more important. I would not be very surprised if that was also true for operating systems. Like, why wouldn't it be, right? So yeah, ideas are a dime a dozen because nobody actually sits down and makes new things, in part because it's so hard because we've tangled ourselves in this giant web of nonsense today, right? If we get to a point where it's somehow easier for people to sit down and experiment, I don't know what that means. Maybe somehow somebody makes the Unity game engine of operating systems. I don't know what that means because I don't know how you do that without enforcing a structure, but whatever. Let's just say that were to happen somehow. It's hard to predict the future. Then ideas would become important again. Because like, okay, now you're able to do things, but most people are spending their time doing boring things that are not new or interesting, right? So again, it's gonna flip back and forth.